Nobody's going to see the late nights. Nobody's going to see the early mornings. Nobody's going to see the grind that you're putting in and day out when you're out there, sweating and tired and body's hurting, right? And so you have to be a dog on the field. And all that means is that going out there and just working on your craft, no matter what it is.
Welcome to the NCA Sports Podcast with Coach Crossley.
Now, before we get into today's episode, I just want to tell you guys a little bit about myself. My name is Coach Crossley, and I'm the co-owner of NCA Sports Training. Now, within our company, we specialize in football, baseball, and speed strength and agility training, right? And so we focus a lot on skill training for the youth to help develop our athletes, to help them get to the next level, right? Whether that may be you didn't start last year, so you want to be a starter now. You were a starter this past season, but you want to be all district or all conference, right? And so we focus on helping you guys get to the next level, wherever that level may be for you, and push you guys and give you all the tools that you need to help you guys operate and become the best version of yourselves to push you to the next level. Now, with our podcast, right, we're going to be talking about things that happen on the field, things that happen off the field and at home as well. For example, we'll talk about how to fight back from an injury, right? How to fight back from a mistake you made on the field, how to win starting jobs, how to compete, the importance of competing, the importance of being coachable. We'll talk about how to be a dog in a classroom and on the field as well, too, right? We'll talk about how to be a great leader, how to be a workout warrior, how to dominate in the weight room. And we'll also talk to you guys about how to be a great son, how to be a great daughter, how to be a great friend, and things like that. Because we understand here that how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so with this podcast, we're really focusing on helping you guys become the best version of yourselves, right? And because, whenever we was in you guys' position, we didn't have other guys or girls to look up to talk to us about the things that were going to lie ahead, right? We were always so ready to get to that next level, but we never knew a lot ahead, right? And so we were so young and so just ready to get to that next level that, we just thought it was going to be peaches and cream, and really it wasn't, right? And so we just want to prepare you guys and girls that way when you do get to the next level, you understand what to expect, you understand what to do and how to handle adversity in those moments. And so the whole reason why we're starting this podcast is to help the youth and get you guys ready for the next level. And so, like I said, Coach Crossing NCA Sports, I played at Austin College, played running back there, played football there. And so I understand what it takes to be a high school athlete and, earn a scholarship and be able to go on to the next level and get there. And so we really want to focus on helping you guys and girls get to the next level and becoming the best version of yourself. And so again, like I said, for today's episode, we're going to teach you guys 13 ways how to become elite athletes. All right. And so the very first way to become an elite athlete is you have to have a phenomenal work ethic. Okay. This means on the field, in the classroom, and in the weight room. Right. And so I'm saying these three things because, like I keep saying, how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? You can be a warrior on the field, but not really be doing it in the classroom or sometimes doing it in the weight room, right? You could be a workout warrior in the weight room, right? And not look so good on the field and doing great in the classroom. Or you can be great in the classroom, but you get to the field and you're not doing anything at all, right? And so it's very important to make sure that we're understanding how to dominate in all three of these aspects, right? And so, for example, right, when we talk about the field, right, whenever you have the time, to where you're just sitting at home on a video game or something like that, go outside and get better at your craft, right? And so we understand that you don't want to do something until you do it right. You want to do something until you cannot get it wrong, right? And so that's what I mean by about going out there and attacking. No matter what sport it is, no matter what you're supposed to be doing, right? If you're a running back, go out there, get extra reps in, right? Go over agility drills, go over cutting drills, go over different formations that you'll be in, go over your different drop steps that you have to take depending on what play and what formation you're in, right? If you're a quarterback, go outside, get extra throws in. If you play baseball, get extra pitches in, get extra batting in, work on getting on your field, right? And so you really have to go out there. If it's really what you want, the guys want to do, guys and girls, if it's really what you want to do, you have to understand that it's just like a job, right? It's a job that you love, but it's still a job, right? And so if you go out there, if you only give half effort, if you only put in a little bit of work, you're not going to get that big scholarship you want. You're not going to be able to get the starting job you want, right? You're not going to be up there to really play at all, right? Because understand the whole job of the coach is to put the best players out there on the field, no matter how old you are, right? And so, like I said, I've seen plenty of seniors just show up and lose their jobs to freshmen. I've seen that before, right? And so no matter what sport you're playing, you have to go in there and become ready to dominate. But that comes from you putting in the work when nobody else is looking. And I know it's cliche. I know everybody says that, but it's really much so important, right? Because every athlete waits for that first to find the moment, right? To where they can show everybody, hey, I've been putting in the work, so that when I come to this moment, it's on to display, right? But nobody's going to see the late nights. Nobody's going to see the early mornings. Somebody's going to see the grind that you're putting in and day out when you're out there, sweating and tired and body's hurting, right? And so you have to be a dog on the field, and all that means is that going out there and just working on your craft, no matter what it is, okay? Now, next part is the weight room, right? And so we understand the importance of performance, right? So, that everybody plays a particular sport, and depending on whatever sport you play, when you go out in the field, you have different skill sets that you'll work on, right? But the importance of the weight room is that it helps you with your performance, right? It helps you become stronger. It helps you become faster. Helps you become more agile. Helps you with your hip mobility. Helps you with your balance, right? And so, being able to go out to the weight room and dominate the weight room, right? Even when you don't want to, right? I've seen plenty of fantastic athletes who hated the weight room, right? But they understood that they had to go to the weight room to help them get better for the field, right? You know what I'm saying? So is that when you go into the weight room, right? Even if you don't want to, you have to keep that in the back of your mind that I'm here so that I can get better for whatever sport that I play. I'm here so that I can become the better version of myself. I'm here so that I can become stronger, right? So that, maybe when I'm running the ball, I can run through somebody and not get tackled, right? Maybe, when I want to hit that next gear, I can go chase down that fly ball. Or if I'm running track, I can be able to explode out the blocks as much as I can, right? That's what the weight room is for. The weight room is to help enhance whatever skill set that you have, right? And so you want to look at the weight room like the foundation of whatever sport you're doing and whatever you have, right? And so think about it, right? If you're going in and you're lifting weights and you're pumping and you're giving it your best effort, no matter how strong you thought you were, you're going to become stronger. No matter how fast you thought you were, you're going to become faster, right? And so, just because of the muscle fibers that you have in your body that adapt to, like your type 2A and type 2X muscle fibers that adapt to going into the weight room and training things like that, those things are going to change. And so, I'm not going to get into the technical aspect of the science of the different muscle fibers and things like that. That'll be for a different day. But essentially, going into the weight room and working on those things, right, is going to help you with your craft and help you dominate and actually help you get to the next level that you need to help you give you guys extra gear that you never thought that you had, right? And so the last thing is obviously the classroom, right? So it's simple. You don't pass, you don't play, right? You can be the best athlete in the world. You can be the best pitcher ever to live, to walk this earth, right? You can be the best quarterback, the best running back, the best wide receiver, the fastest person to ever walk this earth. But if you can't handle yourself in the classroom, it doesn't matter at all. You know what I mean? Now, I've seen plenty of guys that are girls that were, dominant in their respective sport, but because they couldn't keep the grades, they weren't able to go to the next level. They weren't able to play with their team. And so those things hurt when your teammates and your coaches are counting on you, but you're not there because you can handle yourself in the classroom. You know what I mean? And so my biggest thing is we live in a world of technology. Whatever you don't know, all you have to do is ask Google or pick this thing up right here to figure out whatever you need to know, right? You have teammates also. There has to be somebody on your team that can help you with a subject if you don't know. You have coaches, right? Your coaches are willing to do anything and everything for you to help you succeed, not only on the field, but also as a person as well, too. And they understand that, hey, in order for, my athlete to be their best self, they have to also be their best self at every single facet of life, not just on the field, right? And so we understand that in the classroom, you have to be respectful. I have to come in there and try to help people. I have to listen and understand what my teacher is saying. And if I don't understand, ask for help, right? And so the importance of the classroom is that, like I tell kids all the time, you don't go to school to, say, okay, I'm in English class, I want to grow up to be an English teacher. That's not what it is. You want to go to class to understand the principles of the class, right? Pay attention and, gain something out of it. Like I tell everybody, what's the point of going somewhere 6, 7, 8 hours of your day just to waste your time and not remember anything at all, right? And so when you go into the classroom, you have to attack the classroom. The same dog mentality you have on the field, the same dog mentality you have in the weight room, you have to have that same dog mentality when you're inside the classroom, right? Because again, like I keep telling you, how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? And so when you go into this classroom, right, if you don't understand something, ask for help, right? But you want to look at the classroom like, hey, I need to get something out of this so that I can stay on the field, right? But also so that it can help me with life later down the road, okay? And so that is the second reason, the third reason actually of why, of how to be an elite athlete, right? So the first reason altogether is you want to be a dog on the field, a dog in the weight room, and a dog in the classroom, okay? Now for the second reason, right, to help you guys become an elite athlete is you have to hold yourself accountable every day, even when you don't feel like it, right? And so what this means is that this is the best way to help you build character. All right. You don't build character by the days that you wake up and you want to go out there and dominate. You don't build character by when you wake up and and you feel great that day. You don't build character to when you're going to the practice field that day and you're just happy to be at practice, right? Those are not the days that help you build character. Those are not the days that help you get to your next level, right? Those are not the days that's going to pull out the best version of yourself. It's the days when you don't want to be at practice, the days that you don't want to go to a meeting, the days that you don't want to get out of bed, the days that you want to stay up all night and play the game, the days that you want to, Netflix all day and not, focus at all, right? The days that you're going in the film room and you're going to sleep, the days that, that your coach is talking to you, you're not paying attention to them at all because you don't want to be there, right? Because everybody has bad days, right? But like I keep telling you, how you do one thing is how you do everything. The days that you don't want to do it, those are the best times to go do it, right? Because it'll trick your brain and help you understand that, hey, even though I didn't want to do it, I'm going to power through this moment of adversity. I'm going to fight through. I'm not going to let my brain tell me, hey, what I can and cannot do and let it dictate the rest of my day, right? Because if your dream is to become an elite athlete, if your dream is to get to the next level, if your dream is to make sure that you become the best version of yourself, right? That comes from consistency. That doesn't mean that you just do it when you feel like it. It don't just mean that you do it for 3 days straight, right? Or 2 weeks straight. That means day in, day out, I'm focusing on one thing every single day that's going to help me get better, right? I don't have to do it all in one day, right? You eat an elephant one bite at a time. You know what I mean? So what all that means is that just get 1% better every single day. The best version of me is the person that I'll be tomorrow. All that means is that I'm just striving to be better, 1% better every single day. If I can beat the person who I was yesterday, I won the day, right? And so all you have to do is that you have to fight through adversity. You have to hold yourself accountable every single day. All right. And I promise you, if you do those things, I promise you, if you go out there when you don't feel like it, I promise you, if you push yourself to the next limit, you'll be able to become an elite athlete and you'll be able to get the results that you're looking for. All right. And that is going to bring us to our third reason. Now, the third way that you can become an elite athlete is by being coachable. All right. Now, we understand, right? Sometimes coaches say things that we probably don't want to hear. All right. Trust me, I've been there. I understand. Like I said, I played football to the age of literally 3 years old, all the way to the age of 22. So football has been my life. So trust me when I tell you, I understand. There's going to be times where coaches are going to say things and you don't agree with them because you just don't understand, right? And it's not because you don't trust them. It's not because that you don't want to listen to what you're saying. Sometimes you just don't understand, right? But that's why it's always better to ask instead of, just doing what you want to do, doing your own thing, right? But you have to be coachable, all right? Being coachable is being able to trust your coach, being able to trust what he or she is saying to you, and just going out there and doing it, right? And understanding that even though that you may not understand, you may not know, just trusting what your coach is saying and going out there and doing it, right? I see so many athletes, right, who are not able to unlock their full potential just off the fact of just not being coachable, right? You have to understand this coach who's coaching you probably played the game just like you played the game, and they have also coached the game, right? And so they understand how to be an athlete. They understand what it was like to be an athlete, and now they understand what it's like to be a coach, right? And so with that comes knowledge. And so this is knowledge that you probably don't have as of yet, right? When you're a young athlete, you think you got the juice, basically, right? You think you're Superman or Superwoman. You think that you can just go out there and do any and everything, and that you're just the baddest thing walking this earth, right? And to a certain degree, you possibly could be, right? But at the same time, trust me when I say, no matter how great you think you are, if you find the right coach, that person can make you 10 times greater. I promise you, right? Because they can put you in certain situations, right, that you might not even see yet to help you get to that next level, to help you unlock something in you that you never knew that you could have, right? And so that all comes with being coachable. If you're able to be coachable, right, the coach will give you so much more. They'll give you so much more leeway. They'll add you so much more into the playbook, right, to help show everybody all the elite skill and talent that you have, right? But that comes with being coachable, okay? And so you have to understand, like I tell all my kids all the time, right? Don't worry when a coach is talking to you. That's not when you worry, all right? If a coach is talking to you, it's because they care for you, they love you, and they're trying to help you become better. They're not trying to beat you down. They're not trying to criticize you. They're not trying to sit there and hurt your feelings. They're not trying to belittle you. They're trying to help you get to the next level because they see something in you, right, that they're trying to pull out of you that you don't understand yet. They see something that you don't see in yourself, right? And so you don't worry when a coach is coaching. You don't worry when a coach is talking to you. That's not when you worry. You worry when they don't talk to you. You worry when they don't give you time of the day. You worry when they turn their back on you. That's when you have to worry, right? Because at that point, for a coach, he or she can't trust you anymore. Because every time they try to talk to you, you back talk them. Every time they try to get you to understand, you do your own thing, right? And so that's not the athlete that you want to be. That's not how you become elite, right? Even if you look right now, let's take football, right? The best player in the NFL right now. Let's go with Pat Mahomes. Let's go with Aaron Donald. Let's go with Chris Jones, whoever you want to say, right? Shout out to Joe Burrow, right? No matter whoever you want to say. All of these elite athletes are coachable. They listen to their coaches, right? And you see what happens when elite athletes listen to their coaches. It just unlocks new things in them that they never knew that they could have, right? And so that's what happens, right? That's what happens when you have a coach who understands the game because he or she has played it more than you have, and they can put you in position to help you guys dominate, right? And so obviously a coach wants to win, and so what they want to do is that they want to put you in the right position to win. But again, like I tell everybody, it comes down to athletes being coachable, and it comes down to you being able to trust your coach and just listen, right? And if it doesn't work out, hey, it's not your fault. It's on the coach, and that's on them to go fix it and go back and watch the film and understand as an adult, hey, I messed up. Let me go back and fix it. That way they can make it right. But your job as an athlete is, hey, I'm going to do whatever the coach is telling me. I'm going to trust my coach with everything I got. And 9 times out of 10, if you do that, you can walk away with a win. All right. And so that's the third way that you can become an elite athlete is by being coachable and trusting your coach. All right. So now we're going to get into our fourth way. Now, the fourth way that you can become an elite athlete is by studying film on yourself and your opponent. All right. And so now, most programs you have huddle, right? And so you can go back and you can watch over what happened in practice, right? So, and, I know that I understand that most 9 times out of 10, you go back and you try to find your highlights, right? You want to see all the great things that you did, and you want to see if you, did something spectacular. That way you can show all your friends and post it and things like that, right? But you have to understand when you get to the next level, when you go to college, if you're blessed to play in college one day, right? And even when you're in high school, whenever you become elite and you have to play elite talent, right? You have to study and watch film, all right? And you're not just watching film on your opponent, you're watching film on yourself as well, right? You want to go back and look over it. Did I take the right steps, right? Did I make the right read? Did I make the right play? Did I do everything that I was supposed to do, that I was coached to do, right? And so you want to look at those things so that you understand, right? What are your weaknesses? What can I get better at? That way you know how to plan for yourself so that there's no other coach or no other player who can stop you, right? Because if you know your own weaknesses, if you know your own strengths, you know how to adjust, how to improve on those so that now when you go out to your next game, when you go out to your next season, you're a better player, right? But that comes from studying film, okay? Now, when it comes to your opponents, obviously you need to study what your opponents are doing, right? You need to understand who their best player is. You need to understand what he or she can and cannot do. When you do so, now you can attack their weaknesses. This is how you win ball games, right? No matter what sport it is. When you get to the next level, right? That's what separates guys and girls, right? When you go to college. It's not about, who's the fastest, who's the biggest, who's X, Y, and the third, right? Everybody's big. Everybody's fast. Everybody's an athlete. Everybody's a competitor, right? What it comes down to is that can I mentally lock into the game and study the game and now use that to my advantage when I get there on the field? The best players of all time have all studied film, right? They've all studied and looked at what they did wrong and how they could do better. And they all always studied their opponent to see what they're doing wrong, to see how they can attack that. All right. And so you have to go back and study film, not only on your opponent, but also on yourself. So now that way, when you do so, you know everything that you need to know about yourself, everything that you need to know about your opponent. That way you can go out and dominate that person when you see them the next time you play. All right. And so that's the fourth way that you can become an elite athlete. All right. And so now we're going to get to the fifth way. The fifth way to become an elite athlete is by making sure that you're getting 8 hours of sleep and also getting proper nutrition. All right. And so I say these things because, I understand that kids, you want to go out there, eat your hot Cheetos, eat your Takis, eat your McDonald's, eat your Wendy's and things like that, and just eat anything and everything. Right. But there's an importance to understanding that, hey, if I'm getting enough sleep, right, now I can think properly. Now I'm cognitive enough to understand what I have to do to go out there and go dominate on the field, right? If I'm eating right. Now, whenever I'm going to practice, I'm not sitting here throwing up on the field or catching cramps all day from sitting here eating hot Cheetos and Takis and Sprites and Cokes before practice and things like that, right? And so you have to understand, and, in order to help you get to that next level, these are certain things that you need to start incorporating now so that, you're ready to dominate. You know what I mean? So, because think about it, right? If you're only getting like 4 or 5 hours of sleep and you gotta go to practice next day, you're sluggish. You're not your best self, right? You're not thinking properly. The number one thing on your body is sleep, right? If you're going out here, if you're not eating or if you're eating too much of the wrong things, right, you're not going to be able to function highly as much as you need to be, right? Your body has to be a very well, machine, right? You know what I mean? So because think about it. If you're saying that your goal is to be an elite athlete, right? You want to be the best athlete in your district, the best athlete in the city, the best athlete in the state, the best athlete in the country, the best athlete in the world. Your number one asset that you cannot afford to lose is your body, right? And like coaches always say all the time, the best ability is availability, right? And so that comes with also helping you eat healthy, right? When you eat healthy, when you're getting proper sleep, proper nutrition, your body's gonna become healthier. It's gonna become stronger over time as well too, right? That way you can stay on the field and help you also dominate as well too. Okay, and so um, start thinking about those things, right? I know a lot of people don't talk to you guys about sleep and nutrition, but start thinking about those things, right? Being able to get the proper sleep, being able to get the proper nutrition in your body, is going to help you develop more. It's going to help you become, bigger and stronger. Also with the help of the weight room as well too, right? And so being able to do those things just help you become more of a well-run machine to help you guys go out there and dominate as well too. And then it's going to bring us to our next reason, right? So now the sixth way or the sixth reason that can help you become an elite athlete is developing a routine. All right. Now, 9 times out of 10, right? When you're going through high school and middle school, the school and the coaches are helping you develop a routine anyway, right? You have to be at school at a certain time. You got to, be at classes at a certain time. You have to be at lunch at a certain time. You have to be at the next classes at a certain time. You got to go to recess at a certain time. You got to go to practice at a certain time, and you get out at a certain time, right? And so, for the most part, the routine is already developed for you, right? Now, what you want to do is that you want to also create a routine on your own, right? What are you doing on Friday night if you're not, on varsity playing games during the season? What are you doing on Saturday? What are you doing on Sunday? If you're telling me that on Friday, you're going out with your friends, you're just kicking it, doing whatever you're doing, right? But you haven't put in no work. Do you really want to be elite? If you're telling me on Saturday, right, you didn't get up to go, work on whatever that you need to work on, right? Maybe it's your footwork, right? Maybe it's your speed, maybe it's your strength, right? But you just playing games all day, then do you really want to be elite? If you're telling me on Sunday, right, that not one time did you watch film that the coach sent out to you to help you prepare for the next game for the week, that you didn't go out there and watch your practice film to see what you need to do better, right? Do you really want to be elite? You have to ask yourself these questions, right? And trust me when I say this, it doesn't have to take all day. I'm not sitting there saying you have to be, Goku and just go out here and just go train and work out all day from sun to sundown. I'm not saying that at all, right? But what are you doing, right? What are you doing when you have your own time, right? If you're saying, hey, I want to be elite, you have to put in work on your own by yourself when nobody is watching. You have to, right? And so if you're not going outside, if you're not watching film, if you're not going to the weight room on, those Friday nights or those Saturdays and Sundays, right, when you have the weekend, you have all day to do, basically whatever you want to do, then what are we doing, right? Now, like I said, my biggest thing is that, hey, give yourself a reward and also do what you need to do, right? And so if hey, on Saturday I want to go hang out with my friends, right? There's nothing wrong with you waking up 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, going to go work out for about an hour. Then after that, you can spend the rest of your time with your friends, right? Or 9 times out of 10, most of your friends are probably athletes as well too. Why not all of y'all go to the field and just put in work about whatever sport that you play to help y'all get better as well too, right? So you have to understand, right? If you're saying that you want to be elite, if you're saying you want to get to the next level, these are just certain things that you have to do to help you guys get there. It's not going to be easy. Nobody's just going to wake up one day and say, hey, I just want to give you a scholarship, just give you a scholarship. That doesn't happen, right? And so this happens because of the work that you put in. This happens because of the way that you prepare for the opportunity, right? Don't be ready to knock on the door, right? Don't knock on the door if you're not ready to walk through the door, right? What are you going to do when you get the call? Are you going to be ready, right? And so it all comes down to what are you doing in your own time? You have to develop a routine so that way hey, on Saturday at 10 o'clock, I'm going to go to the field for 45 minutes to an hour and I'm working on this specific thing, right? Then I have the rest of the day to do whatever I want to do, And so, like I said, all you have to do is put the work in. That's it. And it doesn't have to take 55 hours to put in work. It really doesn't, right? You can go outside for an hour, 2 hours, or break it up into two workouts in one day, right? On Saturday or Sunday or both, right? And just put in that extra work to help you guys develop and also, work on your strengths and your weaknesses as well too. So then that way, right, you're able to go out there and you're gonna dominate and also you're improving and getting better, right? And so if you're not focusing on improving, you're just gonna stay the same. And eventually the pack's gonna catch up to you, right? Because trust me, if you're not doing it, there's a kid out there that is doing it. So if you're really telling me that you want to be elite, if you're really telling yourself that you want to be the best in the state, best in the city, right? You have to put in work. And like I'm telling you, it doesn't mean that you just, live, breathe, and just put in work all single day, and put in all, the whole day. I'm not saying that at all. But find time, develop a routine to make sure that you can go out there and fix whatever you need to fix, work on whatever that you need to work on to help you guys get to the next level. All right. So the last thing I want to talk to you guys today, which is reason number 7, is the importance of setting outcome and process goals. All right. And so I'm going to explain to you what both of them are and how both of them are very crucial to helping you guys become an elite and help you get into the next level. Okay. And so an outcome goal is what you expect to happen, once the season is all said and done. For example, an outcome goal is, hey, I want my team to win state. I want to be, the number one passing leader in my district. I want to get first team all district, right? These are what we call outcome goals, right? So based upon, the end of the year, the end of the season, what was the outcome, right? Was I able to reach my ultimate outcome goal, right? This happened after the season is over. Now, what is most important, right? Which is probably more important than your outcome goal, is what we call a process goal, right? My favorite saying is trust the process. Trust the process, right? And the reason why I say this is that sometimes within the process, you're going to have great days, bad days. You're going to be going up the hill, coming down the hill, right? But it's the importance of trusting and understanding the process. Now, process goals are things that you're going to do to help you obtain the outcome goals, right? And so if you say, hey, well, I want to be the first team all district in, let's say, basketball, right? I want to be first team all district point guard. Okay. So now that's your outcome goal. So what is your process goal, right? And a process goal can be, well, every day what I'm going to do is that on every Tuesday at, whenever I get home, I'm going to watch film about what I did in practice to make sure that I ran the sets right, to make sure that I set up the offense correctly, to make sure that I'm making the right reads and the right passes, right, to make sure that I'm being able to play defense and watching what I'm doing, right? On Wednesdays, I want to make sure I get up, 200 3-pointers on the left wing, right? Because maybe that's my weakness area, right? On Thursdays, I want to make sure that I'm working on right hand and left hand finishes, layups and dunks, anything, right, when it comes to finishing with both hands to help me improve in that. On Friday, I'm going to work on my dribbling, right? I'm going to see if I can add things into my tool bag. I'm going to see if I can, work on my favorite move and see if I can, add different things off of my favorite tool bag, move that I have to help me, become more dominant and elite at ball handling, right? And so our process goals are is that these are goals that you're going to set in place to help you obtain your outcome goal, all right? And so these goals are very important because without your process goals, right, you don't know where you're going. If you just have an outcome goal, right, that's like driving a ship to Alaska with no GPS. You're just riding the wave, right? You don't know what way you're supposed to go. You don't know if you're supposed to be turning right, turning left. You don't know, if you're going to have, wind or anything. You're just floating at that point, right? And so process goals are very important because they give you a roadmap to help you understand how to attain your outcome goal that you want, right? And so process goals are very much so important, right? And so you need the outcome goal, but the process goal is so much important because without the process goal, right, you don't even know how to get to your outcome goal. All right. So 9 times out of 10, athletes have a very, very easy time figuring out what they want the outcome goal to be, right? The outcome goal is not hard to figure out, right? It's really not hard to figure out. What the hard thing is to figure out is what steps am I going to take to help me get there? What's the process, right? And so you have to understand, right, the importance of developing outcome goals and process goals to help you achieve the new level of elite that you want to be. All right. And so that's going to be all for today's video. All right. I'm going to be coming out with part 2 about how to become 13 ways to become an elite athlete. I just want to stop halfway for today. But again, thank you guys for showing up. Don't forget to go to our website at ncasports.com to sign up for lessons if you play football, baseball, or if you just want to get, faster, stronger, or more agile. All right. And so, like I said, this is Coach Cross from NCA Sports. Welcome to the NCA Sports Podcast, and we're signing out.